Are we live, Martin? You've done 1, 2, 3, but you haven't said if we're live. I'm assuming we are live. So sorry guys, sorry for that little delay. If we are currently on the go. So yeah, we're bringing you live coverage from the first race of the VDRL season. Obviously, we have slimmed down from what we had on the previous season, which was 4 tiers. We're now on just the 1 tier, and it's on a Friday. And I'll be bringing you some coverage today. Currently, I am alone in the commentary box, but hopefully we'll get someone to come and join me, so I'm not bored out of my mind. I was just quickly untying a knot in my shoelaces because I just took my shoes off before doing this commentary because I like the freedom of not having my shoes on in my bedroom. I hope everyone else has the same feeling, because if you don't, you're a bit weird. But yeah, we are currently loading into the event. We've got a couple of new names on the grid. We'll go through them when we get all loaded in. Alejandro Rovillard. I don't know if he's French or Spanish with that name, but waiting for him to load in, and now we're waiting for everyone else to load in. Right, so we are here. It's in the sunset at Bahrain. We've got almost a full grid, actually. 18 cars so far. I assume we'll get maybe 1 or 2 people joining midway through. But we have some returning names. Caesord, Don't Play Zero, McVanaman. I do recognise that name. We've got Talha, Lazzo Anugai, Alejandro Rovillard. Again, I don't know if he's French or Spanish with that name. We've got Toro. We've got VDRL Thick. I know him. We've got Remus. I don't know Ape Raptor. Murphy LV, don't know him either. Ozan, I remember Ozan Izik. Liam Hambleton, yep, we all know Jale, Mathers, aka VDRL George Russell, Shmi, Frobble, and Yakog. So I think we only have a handful of new competitors. Frobble is the first driver out on track in the new season in the Haas. Let's see what he can do in his qualifying run as I turn my volume down. For some reason it's very loud. Let me just go into my settings and turn down my audio. Audio settings. There we go. That's annoying because I can only turn my volume down so far, and then after a certain point it just stops displaying any volume. So yep, currently Frobble is the only person out on, or not on the only person, I'll say he's the first person to really start a lap. Let me just quickly get my personal stream up. I'll just have my stream so in case my POV isn't blindingly obvious, people don't miss it if they're looking back on the race. Right, so Frobel coming up to the final corner to start his lap. The first lap of the new season. Hot lap, ERS mode is engaged. Coming up to the line, DRS is activated. 7th gear, 8th gear, accelerating past 180 miles an hour, past 190 miles an hour as he comes towards turn 1. Where is he going to brake? At the 100 meter board, turns in, 3rd gear. Nicely done, keeps the car straight on the acceleration phase. You've got to turn the car as little as possible for return 2 because you do not want to have the rear end of the car upset through that section, otherwise you will just spin off. He stays completely within the track limits. There's no esports line shenanigans from Frubble on this opening sector here. Nicely done through the S's. Those raised curves will provide nightmares on this game. third gear for the hairpin of turn 8. Now coming up to the tricky turn 9-10 braking zone for the Haas driver. Gently tips the car in, brakes in a straight line, doesn't exactly hit the apex. It's a very tricky corner to deal with though, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. Went down to second gear. I bet there'll be someone else taking that better, but we come up towards turn 11, little left-hander, medium speed, obviously 4th, 5th gear, through the flat-out right. Yep, nicely on the curve, in towards turn 13, and now coming up to the final 2 corners on the circuit. You've got another long straight to go before what the last braking zone, but people don't realise there's another corner directly after that you don't even recognise. So through turn 14 and then 15, we're through that now, on towards the back straight. The first lap time of the season is a 1:28.861. Next across the line will be McVanaman. Across the line he will come in that Red Bull, and he's got a McLaren directly behind him of Talha. Talha goes to the top of the time sheet. McVanaman was actually slower than Frobel, but Talha was quicker. Liam Hamilton on a 1:29.4, he needs to improve. But it's McConaughey and McLaren 1-2. Neighbours go to the top, and that is immediately stopped by Cesord, who goes on a 1:27.2. Sensational lap time from him there to go into that position. Jale up into P3. Remus starting a lap, not finishing one. Murphy, his first lap of the season is not a very good one. 3 seconds off the pace. Then Don't Play Zero, 6th position. I forgot to speak then. My mouth is coming back at it again. Alejandro Rovillard is coming into the pits because I think he's got an invalid lap time there, unfortunately for his sake. Ozan starting a lap. I'm trying to look who the car on the back straight is coming in towards the final corner. I can't find who it is. It's Yakog. He's on an out lap there, so it doesn't particularly matter. Frobel will be coming into the pits. So there's only a handful of drivers who haven't set a... Well, actually, no, there is a handful. There's a lot of drivers who haven't set a valid lap just yet. And one of them is Remus. Remus is a first-time driver who hasn't currently set a lap, and he's currently on a lap that he's trying to do. So coming through sector 2 now. Let's see how he can do. He says it's a purple second sector. How much I believe that, I don't know. But Remus, in the Red Bull this season, I know him for being a Williams driver, but obviously teams have changed, drivers have changed, a lot has changed in this season. Someone has just joined, I think it's Kevin, he's in the RB, and Fritzos has just got in the Alpine and then retired from the session, so we do now have a full grid as Remus goes to the top of the timesheets. Fritzos has left the session. That is Toro to 3rd place. Just a 10th clear of Jale, which is pretty impressive. VDRL Thick going on to start the lap. Ozan finishing one. Yellow flags in sector 2. Sorry, in sector 1, one of the Hasses has gone off. I think that's just one of them getting out of the way though. Ozan goes P11 on a 1:29. That's not a very good lap time, I can't lie. But now we see Yakog on the medium tyres. Actually, that's a good point. Has anyone set their fastest lap on the set of mediums? Nope, only Yakog has done that so far. The Alpine driver up to the line is a 1:29.7. He's not a very fast lap time, but he is on the medium, so I will give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. Thick is on a lap. He's the only person currently not setting one, but is on one, so let's keep on board with the Kick Sauber driver. His teammate is currently in pole position, or in provisional pole position, so high standards to be set for the Sauber driver. Nicely done through the second sector. It doesn't look like he's pushing the limits of the car too much as he comes in towards the second, or out of the second sector into the third. Very gingerly on the throttle and throughout that entire corner complex. He's going to get some slipstream from whoever that is in front. Is one of the Williams, I think. It is one of Williams. I think it may be Toro, who's just going into the pits now. Yep. And across the line comes Thick. It's a 1:29.9. Not very good lap times then for some of the fields. So there's a big field spread. There are a couple of drivers on flying laps. Frobel is one of them, but he's invalidated, unfortunately for his sake. I think the long person is Remus. Remus coming through the second sector, sorry, the first sector split now. 300ths of a second down on his previous time. As my voice is going for some reason. As we now come up towards the second sector. In towards the tricky turn 9-10 complex, DRS open. On towards the back straight. And now down in towards turn 11. Nicely done for him there. The second sector split will be up right now. Obviously he needs a 1.2 second improvement to break into the pole position time, but he's 1/10 up currently, which will put him, it actually will only move up one position ahead of Jale, but unfortunately for Remus's sake, he's just made a mistake coming out of the second to last braking zone. Not the second to last corner, because this is the second to last corner. That's the final corner. He's decided to come into the pits because that lap time wouldn't have been good enough to improve. Liam Hambleton is doing a second push lap, or a second warm-up lap, should I say. I think most drivers seem to be opting for that strategy. So I'm not exactly sure who is on a flyer and who isn't, which is a bit of a nightmare, I can't lie. Czord, I think, is on a flying lap, so we could go on board with Czord because he is currently in that pole position and is in that pole position by an absolute country mile, I'd just like to point out. No one is even within 8/10 of the Sauber driver. Let me just have a look because he's coming up towards the second sector split. Very aggressive through the corners, which is something I like. I like to see some personality and gusto from the drivers when they're on the steering wheel and on the pedals. 500ths of a second up, so he's still improving. He could even, if he strings together a good last part of his lap, he could even get into the 126s, which when no one else is even in the 127s is a very impressive target to set for everyone else. He's used all his deploy, but he won't care about that coming out of the final corner. DRS open. No improvement for him there, so it was a bit of a loss through that last part of the lap, but he won't care. He's in P1 at the moment. McVanaman is 7/10 up. He goes P2, second driver into the 1:27s on a 1:27.988. Not sure who the next person who's on a flyer is. Kevin is. Kevin, obviously we know him to be a fast driver. Can he go straight to the top of the timesheets? No, he can't. It is P2 though. It is P2 for the RB driver. Let's have a look and see. I think, yeah, Mavros is on a lap. I just want to check if I'm not missing out on anyone else. I don't think I am. So yeah, let's go back on board with Mavros. 6/10, 7/10 even up. So he's currently going to be in contention to go into the 127s himself. That gap is still 6/10 at the top. Czord is impressing right now in Bahrain as Mavros comes out of the final corner. I'm not sure if he's going to pit or go. Yeah, he's going to carry on. He looked very tentative coming off of the final corner. Up to P2 he goes on 1:27.777. All the sevens here in Bahrain. McVanaman not on a flying lap. He would have been the next person to cross line. One of the Ferraris, Liam Hambleton, is also on a he's on a warm-up lap rather than a completing one. Shmee is preparing for a lap. He's got so much ERS. He's actually coming into the pits after completing a tour of the circuit. So is Kevin. Not sure exactly who is on a flyer now. Liam Hambleton is, and so is his teammate Lazzo. But Lazzo is getting very antsy coming out of some of these corners. So is Jakob. Jakob's actually further around the circuit. He's coming into the final corner now. The Alpine man. Let's see what he can do. Currently on 1:29.7, but he's on the brand new soft tyres. He was on the mediums for his first run. That's a very impressive run from him. Up to 7th he goes. Lazzo coming up to the line. He's decided to come into the pits after that one. Liam Hambleton, who has run up at the top of the field previously, but as a case of can he do the same here? He's using hot lap ERS, but he's hardly burnt any. He's on 80% ERS. Is he leaving it all for these final two straights? That's not how ERS is best deployed. You're supposed to deploy it in all the traction zones because that's where extra power is especially prevalent. He is using it all on the straights. That is not how ERS is supposed to be deployed, my friends. Actually, to be fair, his ERS deployment is looking actually kind of normal. I've just realised. He's getting right close to that bottom part of the bar. Luckily, he's right. There we go. Up into P9, the Ferrari man goes. I wonder who that Red Bull is on the track. It's Remus, who is currently 6/10 up on his lap time. That would put him into the top 3 if he was to keep up on that trajectory. Can he do so? Yes, he does. It's P2 for Remus. Good job from him there to get into the position he's currently in. Next across the line is one of the Alpines, and I can't seem to find which one it is. Oh no, he's going into the pits. The Mercedes is next. It is Ozan Izik, who's currently 2 temps up, but that's not really good enough. He will only improve to be in the top 15 currently on this run. Yep, only 15th place. Not a very impressive lap at all, really, in my opinion. Liam Hambleton, I think he's going for a second lap. He's not, he's 2 seconds down on his previous tour around the circuit, so everyone else, we're just waiting for the other guys, the other drivers to start their runs. I think Mathers might actually be the first person out on circuit. No, actually, McVanaman is the furthest along person who isn't on a flying lap. Jaleh, though, is on a lap. I didn't spot him, but he's decided, I think, to back off of this one. He has. McVanaman currently on the back straight, burning fuel. I assume that is burning fuel just to try and get the extra bit of weight off. His teammate's currently in P2. He's 3 tenths back, or closest to 3 tenths as you can pretty much be. It looks like 2 tenths on the board because it's a 127.7 and a 127.9, but actually Remus is in the low 127.7s and he's in the high 1 minute 27.9s. So coming into turn 1, he obviously knows what he needs to improve, but can he replicate his teammate's form as we come through turn 1, 2 and 3? That was a very nice section there. No drama, no oversteering, no fighting the car. And it's a similar story through turn 4. Nicely done from him there. Will it be an improvement? No, it's a 1/10 disimprovement. So a 1/10 loss, not disimprovement. 1/10 of a second lost through the first sector. But can he pull that back in the remaining 2 parts of the lap? Going through turn 9 and 10 all over the curb. That's not the greatest of lines because he's had to get his rear end all out, to be honest there, and now coming through all over the curb again. That's going to definitely hamper him. Through turn 11 and then now 12 he comes. He's 7 thousandths down. I don't think he's going to be able to improve much in this last sector. And now into the final corner on the circuit. Can McVanaman, I don't think he's going to be able to get into P4 and usurp Kevin Van Dijk? The answer is, oh, he has improved, but it's not enough. He improved, but it wasn't enough. Mayverse had decided to back off of whatever lap he was on. Cezord is on a lap. There's a lot of drivers currently on a lap, so I may miss them. Cezord is a 10th down, so I may go to someone else. Actually, to be fair, Cezord is pretty much the furthest guy around the circuit who is on a lap. Ozan has decided to retire, so let's go back to Cezord on my screen. Let's see what he can do coming up to the second sector split. He's been completely untouched for the majority of this session. Can he remain completely untouched? He's 7 hundredths, sorry, down on his previous time. Can he put himself in a position where he is even further ahead of the chasing pack? Me thinks no. But I could easily be proven wrong. As he comes towards the line, he was the first person to cross it as the checkered flag waves. He does. It's a 1 minute 27.233. It's a 4 thousandth of a second improvement. Every little helps. VDRL Thick will not improve. Next across the line after that will be, it was Yakog who went P4. Then one of the Haas cars of, not Frobel, it'll be the other guy, Alejandro Rovillard, comes into the pits. Then it's Shmee up to the line. He shouldn't improve, I don't think. He doesn't, he stays P8. One of the Red Bulls is next. It's actually Kevin who goes to P2. Only 3 tenths off of the top time. Then it's Talha who goes P3, demoting Remus off of the, not just off of the front row, but back onto the second row. Mayverse, 2 tenths up. He couldn't even claim that P2 spot. He's looking challenging and he's looking right on top of that car. He's got a bit of the RS to deploy as well, so he could easily pull himself into the top 2 positions here if he can just keep it all together. Deploying overtake out of the final corner for Mavis. He's also got the slipstream from the car in front. It's P1! He gets the P1 in the end. Mavis, with an incredible last sector, gets pole position. I think that's going to be our pole man. Liam Hambleton is improving, but it doesn't look like he's going to improve into a sufficient position to improve his position drastically anyway. No, he doesn't. P10, Frobel across the line. He stays P13. So, Mavis is your first pole sitter of the season. After Caesord looked completely unmatched throughout the first 17 minutes of qualifying, in the last gasp, in the last minute, way after the checkered flag had been called, Mavis went pole by 16 thousandths of a second. 16 thousandths, that is crazy. So, Mavis, as I said, is top on the timesheets, followed by Caesord on the front row alongside him. Toto is in third, followed by Kevin Van Dijk making his return to VDRL League Racing, followed by Talha, Remus, Yakog, McVanaman, Shmee, Liam Hambleton, Jale, Lazzo, Frobel, Don't Play Zero, Thick, Ozan, Murphy, Alejandro Rovillard, Ape Raptor, and Fritzhaus round out the order, and we will see what today's race in Bahrain looks like. So, as we're gearing up for the race, let's have a look. Obviously, it's in the night time. That will help keep tyre temperatures cool. What else will it do? A lot of stuff will probably happen in this race. We're just waiting for, I assume, people to do their setups and for the command to be given. Under the lights here in Bahrain. I hope we're going to get going soon. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights here in Bahrain, and it's go for the first race of the season. Caesar gets a better launch off of the line. He moves into the first position, and now Toto is trying to make moves further behind. Let's see what he can do. He's filtering in behind the contact between the leading pair as Toto goes wide and off the circuit completely onto the grass. Sensational stuff there. He's trying to rejoin the circuit safely, but does so while getting a 3-second time penalty. That should be removed, in my opinion, because he's lost positions from such actions as Murphy's right at the back. But now Toto is trying to re-overtake Remus after losing the position. He lost 2 positions off that start there. That was not good for him. And contact between him and Remus as he tries to make his way back past the Red Bull, now in towards the hairpin. That was a very chaotic start for the leaders, especially Mavis, was he our pole sitter? Our pole sitter is down to P9. I'm not sure what's happened to him there. As he goes wide and he's trying to keep the car on circuit. Has he got damage of some sort potentially? Yellow flags in centre 2 because I think someone's got off at the back. Is sick. The teammate to our current leader is now right at the back of the field. Talha is now behind Toro. Mavis is dropping like a stone. Don't play 0 to the back of the field. He may have had an off through the second sector. It looks like, I'm not sure if Mavis has damage. I can't see any at the moment, but he may have a little bit of damage. He's trying to make his way back through the pack, but he's down 9 positions on this opening lap. I'll tell you who is going for a move. Shmee on Liam Hambleton. He's pulling alongside. Can he get this to stick? No, he's just going to miss out. Just about misses out there. Ozan gets a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So does Alejandro Roviad. So one of the debutants not doing particularly well there. Mavis moves his way back past Jale, but contact between the pair as Mavis ghosts coming through there. And now Jale is going to get swallowed up by McVanaman, who goes around the outside. And that's a good move there from the Red Bull driver. Lazzo moving past Frobel. Frobel's still there. He just have to leave some room still, but he clears him before the next corner, so he doesn't have to leave any room, in fact. Murphy spins. Murphy's just spun off the exit of turn 4. Needs to get back up going soon, and he does so. Nicely done from the Aston Martin. Ape Raptor on his debut, trying to make his way past Fritzos, who started right at the back of the field. Don't really want to go side by side from there, boys, but they're managing to make it work. Now, side by side down the straight, Fritzos comes over, but he's not able to stop the advance of Ape Raptor. But can he round the outside? Send the move. He doesn't, unfortunately. He's going to try and keep it on the inside into turn 12. He's basically pushing him round the corner, Fritzos. And eventually backs out and lets him keep that position. Toro close behind Kevin, who's close behind Caesord. DRS down this straight should provide some entertainment, but Kevin hardly has any ERS to fight with, so Toro will just pull alongside and potentially just go straight by him. He does, even though Toro doesn't himself have much ERS. He's going to box Kevin in here and just filter into that second place position. Talha also trying to get involved, so we've got a 4-way fight to the lead, possibly even a 5-way fight to the lead if Remus can get involved. But now Kevin re-overtakes Toro coming into, or actually he's going to back off, I think, here. No, he's not. He's going to try and stay alongside in towards turn 4, but doesn't for him, unfortunately, get the position there. Mavis is struggling. He's still down in P9 behind 8 cars. 8 cars stand between him and the lead. Jale and Lazzo battling, and now Jale up into 10th as McVanaman, who's down 4 positions off the start, makes his move. Remus passes Talha into turn 9 and 10. McVanaman and Lazzo fighting. There's lots of bumping and barging. Lazzo has wing damage. Lazzo has wing damage right now. Lap 3 of 29. We've got bumper cars here in Bahrain. And now, what can we focus on here? Remus getting closer and closer to Kevin while Kevin falls off of this little leading duo. He has no ERS. Neither does, actually, to be fair, now Toro has saved up a little bit, so he has a massive advantage. I don't know why Kevin is deploying overtake. He's deploying overtake when he doesn't have any. He has no battery to defend with, and that's going to push him down the field. He has no ERS. He's pushing himself, and he's pushing himself into a hole where he's now lost the position to Remus. Unless he's playing the long game. This is bad news for Kevin, as now Toro challenging Caesar for the lead. Our race leader now loses it to Toro around the outside, but can he keep it? Yellow flags in sector 1. Someone has gone round in the background. I think that is McVanaman. It is McVanaman. Goes off in the same place his teammate took to the grass on lap 1. Getting slowly back on track. Obviously don't want to spin the wheels up too much as you re-enter the circuit. Down into 18th place he goes, and Ozan and Alejandro Roviad battling for the wooden spoon that is 20th and 19th place. As now Caesar is following in the battle for the lead, and now Kevin is still deciding for some reason to deploy his overtake. You're within the DRS of the car in front, just save up some ERS. You don't need to worry, you're going to stay within the general ballpark of these leading runners. Deploying your overtake to not make an overtake is just going to keep hampering you further. Everyone else in front of you has at least triple the ERS that you do. You're just putting yourself at a disadvantage, Kevin. Caesar right behind Toto as there's a yellow flag in the background. One of the Aston Martins has gone off. I think that might be Murphy. But we'll stay with this battle for the lead as Caesar to the inside of Toto. He might try and get the switch back here. Remus following just behind as now Kevin has fallen back. Kevin, I think, has spun. Kevin has half spun through turn one and he's now lost many positions and he's now back where Mayverse is. So Kevin's now back with Mayverse. Can he slice his way through the field? No, he can't because Mayverse is up the inside. Ape Raptor has decided to retire in the pit lane and retire and leave a session, so he's clearly frustrated with something that's happened. And now Kevin's decided to deploy even more errors, so you're even more stuck in the field. So now you're going to leave yourself at even more of a disadvantage. Fantastic idea. I'm not sure if he just left it on because he's using it through the corners as well. So he's stuck behind this battle. That will not be good for him because they'll just DRS train and it will be impossible for him to get by. I think he has a setup that's more geared towards cornering because he keeps losing out on the straight bits. It won't help that he keeps losing the back end like an absolute maniac. But now he has got a problem because now he needs to get past these drivers who aren't as far up the field as he is, or as far as the field as he is, on pure pace. Mayverse up the inside of Yakog into the last corner. Doesn't care about the DRS train as he barges him right off the circuit. Yakog's like, I'm here, mate, you have to leave room. And now Caesar loses the lead, and Mayverse and Yakog fighting as now it's a three-way battle for the lead. Toto and Remus side by side. Remus takes the lead. Sorry, not Remus, Toto. I'm so used to Remus being the Williams driver. Caesar went straight into the side of Remus there and had to catch it. So now that invites Talhat into the discussion. Mayverse now stuck right behind Liam Hambleton. But now that changes the order for the leading few. Caesar, who had led for part of the opening stage of a race, is now down into 4th place. The lowest in this train. There's now Yakog and Jelly fighting for P11 and P12. I think Yakog may have damage of some sort. I'm not. He might not. He might not. Seems to be struggling with some form of understeer. Yellow flags in sector 2. I think that's thick. Yeah, it is thick. Now Remus he's going to try another advance on Toto's lead to the outside this time. And can he make the room? Can he keep it around the outside? Oh, come on! For some reason they are lagging a little bit on my screen. I might go and quickly disable Wi-Fi on my phone and see if that's the reason why I'm getting a bit of lag. Caesar, which else is now Mayverse and Shmee fighting with Liam Hambleton, and Mayverse needs to get this move done now. And he does, but will he turn in? And yes, he does, and that gives Liam Hambleton some wing damage. Liam Hambleton did not back out that move there, where possibly it was wise for him to do so, because the driver was Mayverse is faster than him. So not Mayverse, Shmee was that. Hold on, I'm getting confused with people. Yeah, I'm getting confused with people. I'm having a brain aneurysm. Lap 7 of 29 then, we're going with the lap 8 short. About a quarter of the way through this race, and it's a slow burner. I think this one is going to be. I think it's going to be a case of who can make the passes at the right time. And now Talha should have a go at the lead now this lap round. So once decides to come into the pits, that's Caesar and Remus into the pits. I assume they'll be going on to hards. Mediums, okay. 19 or 21 laps on the mediums. That's a very... Unless he's going two-stop strategy. It's a very bold take. That's a very bold way of doing things. I just realised, by the way, that some of these... There was a mix of tyres in this front pack. Literally, medium soft, medium soft, medium soft is the top 6. Couldn't get more varied than that. I didn't realise that initially after qualifying, because I didn't have a chance to have a look on the formation lap for the tyre things, because we don't do formation laps in this league. That so gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. I think that's the first track limits penalty we've had that was like not just like a singular track limits. Schmee loses his provisional podium position to Liam Hambleton. I say provisional because obviously they have drivers behind them who have just pitted and they haven't. They're still fighting side by side through turn 12. Yep, I knew that was going to happen. You can't fight side by side from there and expect not a coming together. Stupid idea, to be honest. One of them should have backed out. Whoever was behind should have backed out. But then again, league racers have the wisdom of a goldfish. So as those two recover to the pits, they're going to ruin their chances. Toto back into the lead, back past Talha, and he's lost the back end coming off of turn 2. That's not a good move from him, because now Talha should breeze by with the DRS, but he's not going to. He's going to stick behind into the turn 4. Jaleh into the pits, don't play 0, and Schmee also into the pits. Kevin now has an 8-second gap to the leaders, who was up in that leading battle at one point. That's how much you can lose out if you're not careful. Freitzos and Jaleh battling for the minor points placings. So I know I think we've reverted back to the real F1 point system. We tried an alternate point system and it didn't really work. I think it was more confusing for everyone else, because throughout the entire season I only learned that 16 points for a win, and that was it really. That's all I remember from it. That's how confusing it was that someone like me can't remember it. Mavis gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warning. That could haunt him if he's going to try and pull back up to the leaders. Now Talha re-overtakes Toto. Now Remus sets the fastest lap of the race on a brand new set of medium tyres. That's Frobel into the pits for a set of hards. So there are people going for the one stop from softs to hards. But I assume the people who picked for mediums earlier will be going for a 2-stop. Some very interesting tactics here. We're on lap 10, so about a third of the way through the race. Toto is keeping with Talha. I assume those softs are probably the weaker tyre at this point in the event, because, well, it's fair, in real life Bahrain is a tyre killer because of its abrasive surface, but I'm not sure if that translates to the game. I mean, it's got some high tyre load corners, but for the most part it is kind of stop-start without much excessive load. I mean, it's got the S's, which are kind of tyre, like, in their own right, tyre wear-ish. You've got a few longer corners. There's one as a yellow flag. I think that might be McVanaman. There's a virtual safety car out, as McVanaman has done a pirouette round on the exit of turn 8. This will allow the leaders to come into... Actually, no, it won't. It will allow Kevin to come in, though, and this could play him right back into contention. Same with Liam Hambleton. Seasold obviously won't come in. That will bring him back up to... Not bring him back up to the leaders, but it will mean that Kevin and Co are out of the way. Kevin onto a brand new set of softs, so I assume he's going for a soft until the end. Liam Hambleton obviously going on a hard set of tyres until the end of the event. So we'll see how far behind Kevin is when he rejoins out onto the circuit. He has to slow down for the Delta. So he is now 34 seconds off the lead. That's not great. But he will be on brand new tyres, which should allow him... It should allow him to be able to focus on his restart as long as he doesn't speed, because I can see he is slowing down and speeding up quite considerably. There we go, we're green, and that could... Is Toto got a good run? He doesn't, actually. Unfortunately for his sake. But now Kevin will have the opportunity to gain. He is definitely already gaining. He's now 31 seconds off the lead. I don't think that is... Okay, so it turns out that I think the leading gap was just a bit scuffed. Because now he's literally gaining like a tenth every tenth. He's now 29 seconds off. I don't believe this is actual pace. I think it's just the gaps rewriting themselves. As now Toto moves past Talha into the lead. Slipstreaming battle as... Ooh, Talha properly gets stopped there. Otherwise he was going to crash into the back of him. Kevin now only 28 seconds off the lead. I'm not sure what the pit lane loss is here. But whatever it is, Kevin is cooking. As long as he doesn't waste his ERS, that would be good for him, because he can just keep gaining on these leading pair who are kind of holding each other up. They're good on the straights, but they're holding each other up through the corners. Lazzo moves past Jale. Those two are on similar age tyres, but not similar. They're not the same compound. Talha re-overtakes Toto. Toto just backed off there for some reason. He's now falling out of the... Oh, what's happened? What's happened? Oh, he's got a puncture. Toto has a puncture. He's going to try and make his way back to the pits, but he has a puncture. That will take him out of the fight for the lead, and he needs a safety car now. He's over-pushing the car. Slow down, mate. Crawl at 60 miles an hour is better than trying to push at 80 and spinning out again. Caesord overtakes him. Remus will go past. He just needs to kind of get off of the racing line. Oh, that is a very tricky situation to be in. It's one of his rear tyres that has gone. Why was he pushing it so hard on those tyres? He could have come in. If you can go 12 laps on a set of softs, you can go that distance on a medium. I'm not sure why he was pushing so hard, and that's cost him. Try to break at the same point he would usually. Calm down, my friend. Kevin sets fastest lap of the race, while Toto is outside of the points because he couldn't keep his calm and save those tyres. He just about slows down for the pit entry, and now, oh, even bigger disaster for Toto. He came into the pits sideways, and now the AI is trying to get him into the pits. That's going to be a disaster for him. He may as well retire from the session. He's got all the way to go down the pit lane because it's Williams and they're right down the back of the pack. Kevin is now only 24 seconds off of the lead, as I think Jakog and Lazzo have just made contact, and Jakog's spinning, or half spinning. Toto, what a disastrous race for him. He needs a safety car. In fact, Toto was fighting for the lead. He's now potentially, he is going to be lapped. There we go, into the pits he comes. He's going to be lapped. He has just been lapped by Talha. Onto a set of hards he goes. The only thing he can hope for now is a safety car. And even then he's not guaranteed anything. Deary me. He is 16 seconds off the back of McVanaman. And while I have no doubt that he can get there, the chances of him getting a points position even are very limited. He'd have to gain 2 seconds a lap on the guys around the top 10 to be even able to do that. Jale and Jakog fighting for position. Jale to the, sorry, Jakob to the inside, passes Jale. But Jale does not give up without a fight here. Around the outside, but he gets squeezed out just enough to lose the position. Kevin still pushing on. 20 seconds off the lead now. He would, if Talha was to come in and the people in front of him were to come in, he would assume the lead. But of course, Cesar and Remus are on a similar strategy to him, as Shmi gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings for track limits. Toto is still going. I appreciate the fight from Toto. He does need a safety car though. As Alejandro Roviard is into the pits, so that is now him into 18th. And Talha did come in. Sorry, I didn't spot that. So now Toto is back on the lead lap, which will assist him in his charge if there's a safety car. Talha and Remus come in, so Kevin and Cesar. I'm not sure why the others came in. Do they think were they maybe trying to go soft medium and they saw what happened to Toto and they just want to make sure they can go to the end potentially? Because they've just gone on to hards, I think. There's now Liam Hambleton to the inside of Fritzos. Very strong defending there from Fritzos. Borderline, but I think that was just about legal. As now Fritzos getting wobbly. Through turn 7, goes defensive into turn 8. He didn't need to do that, and now he's locked up. He's just going to allow Liam Hamilton to be all over the back of him as we come in towards this next part of the circuit. And now to the inside, we can see Liam Hamilton go here. He stays behind. And now coming out of... So yeah, we're going to probably see another battle down the main straight. Fritzos won't give up without a fight though. I'm not sure if Cesar has not come in. Mayverse overtakes Lazzo, our pole sitter. And so does Frobel and fighting. Fritzos overtakes Liam Hamilton. Sorry, Liam Hamilton overtakes Fritzos, and he has a DRS for good measure. He is just pulling away. But now Lazzo's into the pits in the other Ferrari. 7-lap-old mediums are coming in. I'm not sure why that is. Jakob and Jale fighting all over again. Jakob gets all over that inside curve. And now Jakob's still all over the back of Jale. But he doesn't launch an attack just yet. Currently, Cesar is lapping in the high 131s, low 132s. Kevin is about a second a lap quicker than him, so obviously they are on different tyres, different age tyres as well. But Kevin should catch up in a handful of laps, which could get tasty if Cesar doesn't pit by that point. Fritzos and Liam Hamilton still within DRS range of each other. Cesar does pit. I assume this is another set of mediums because the last driver that tried to do 12 laps on a set of softs had a puncture. Yeah, Cesar's going on another set of mediums. Wise idea in my opinion. Fritzos unable to make a move on Liam Hamilton. There's now Jakob and Jale going at it again. Potentially Mayverse is also caught up to them, and Frobel. So get your popcorn out, boys and girls and children of all ages and everyone else. This could get interesting. Oh, there's a car at the inside of Frobel. That's Cesar. Cesar, who has just pitted, needs to act. This is not good for him. He's going to get held up behind this crew of cars, just constantly fighting with each other. He's sending brash and brave moves. Up the inside of Jale he goes. He needs to get these done. Usually I wouldn't recommend overspending your ERS quantity, but he needs these moves. He needs them, absolutely. Up the inside of Mayverse. Our pole sitter, who's now down in 7th and isn't really proving much at all. But he's still keeping up a fight around the outside, gets shoved out wide, that's fair enough. Now Seagull is 18 seconds back from Kevin and gaining. If I was Kevin, I would go until about lap 21, 22, just before the point where they're going to explode, and then come in for a new set and just go ham. Like, I'm only coming around lap 20 and have equal wear on both of them. It depends on how much you want to push on that new set. 3 souls into the pits, along with Schmid. Caesar. Oh, it's a spinner. It's Yakog. Yakog is spun. Not sure if there was contact between him and potentially Jale, because I know those two were going hammer and tong for that throughout a lot of the part of this race. Right, so overtakes Schmid. Don't play zero, also making his way out the pits. And now Toto is into the pits. I think he may be doing this to... Oh, it's not Toto, sorry, it's Murphy. The Aston Martin driver. Now down to P17 as Toto makes his way by. So now Frobel is close behind Jale. Jale is still close behind Mayverse. Kevin still hasn't come in yet. He may come in either this lap or... I assume in the next 3 laps he'll come in. Schmid overtakes Latto into the final, before the final corner even comes around. That may be an instant switch around again. Once we get to the main straight, DRS activated. No ERS deployed for Latto. He's actually going to back off. He's got 100% ERS. Don't know why he's backed off there. He's trying to outsmart no one, I think. Meanwhile, Caesar is getting closer and closer to Kevin's lead. It was 18 seconds when he came out of the pit, now 16. Yellow flags and set to 1. I don't know who that is. Queens, I think, is Yakog. Yakog has gone round again. So not a good moment for him there. Ozanizik and Thicker fighting. That's a spin for McVanaman. Another one for him. So Toto might get another position here soon. He's gained a lot on them as a result of that all coming together. And now Liam Hamilton overtakes Caesar. That won't be good for the potential race leader. His battle for the lead. Obviously, Liam Hamilton and Kevin aren't teammates. I don't think they're friends either, to be honest. I don't know why this would potentially be happening. Caesar really runs straight to the side of Liam Hamilton. And there's someone off. Safety car. Someone has stopped on the main straight. It's one of the blue cars. It's Yakog. He's DNF'd. He's spun on the exit of the last corner, I think. His car's despawned now. Oh, there's a wheel on the... I'm not sure exactly what happened there. So this will completely change the order. Kevin will be absolutely delighted with this because he'll be able to come into the pits and pretty much unless Talha stays out, which would be a stupid idea, he is going to restart this racing first. Everyone coming in, this is going to bunch the pack up for a 10, possibly an 8 or 7 lap sprint to the end. And this will, more importantly, Toto can now catch up. Toto now has a shot at the point. Toto going onto a set of mediums. I'm not sure exactly why he goes in mediums instead of softs. Maybe with a stint this, because obviously you're going to have 10 laps to the end. However, at least 2 of those are going to be on the safety car, possibly even 3, because the field is so spread out. There are people on every single section of the circuit. I would have gone onto softs if I was Toto. I know he's got trauma from going 12 laps on them, but even now, he won't go 12 laps on them. Maybe he wants to be able to push hard. Liam Hambleton has just spawned back out onto the circuit for some reason. I'm not exactly sure what that is. Okay, now, what on earth? Major lag for Liam Hambleton on my screen. He's just gone backwards down the pit lane on my end. But he must have stayed out on his hard tyres. That's a stupid decision. He's going to get swallowed up by the pack. But yeah, what this will allow is it will allow Toto to catch up. So look, people have to catch up an entire lap. And that will take time. Especially with people in the pits and stuff. We aren't going to get going, I think, until at least the end of 22. Which will mean an 8-lap sprint until the end. Toto is absolutely harassing Murphy, trying to get him out of the way. That was Murphy, to be fair, I'd come in. Those hards are new, but they're not going to be good enough, I don't think. Is Murphy coming in? He's staying out. Okay. Let's see how much Toto and Co are gaining. Can't really see at the moment because stuff, but yeah. Yeah, Liam Hambleton is caught up. The gap should update as they come up to the line. And they haven't. Oh no, they have. Yeah. So Toto should gain. No, I don't think we're going to get a restart because we've also got people like. Well, Alejandro's been lapped. That does help things. I don't think he's going to get the wave around. McVanaman will be the last car, I think, to... Oh, actually, no, there's... No, actually, it will be Toto. Toto will be the last person to pick up the front of his queue, and I don't think he's getting there by the end of his lap because Murphy's on a go slow. If I was Toto, I'd run a bit further behind him as well, because if Murphy makes a mistake, he's going to be straight into the back of him. But yeah, this will also mean drivers with penalties will have a big problem. Obviously, Toto got his unfairly from his escapades at turn 1. Oh, it looks like they're going to catch up, but it won't be enough. Looks like Murphy is genuinely just not fast enough. So that's a shame. Actually, we might. No, we won't. No, we won't. They're too close. They're too close to the safety car line. So we'll get another wave around. No worries. We will have a 6-lap sprint to the end. Kevin will lead us away. It'll be interesting. Let me just check what tyres everyone is on. So, Kevin's gone full aggressive mode. Remus is getting swallowed up by the pack. That was a stupid decision to stay out. Talhart, Liam Hambleton, Seazord will be the next guy on softs after Kevin. Some people decided to go mediums. I still don't understand that decision. If it was, because it was with 10 laps to go, if it was going green with 10 laps to go, I'd have understood that because it was close to puncture territory. And you might actually get better off going for the mediums in the long run. The Seazord has a bit of a strange off there. But we have literally, it was obvious that it was going to be a long wait for the end of the safety car. So these guys on the mediums are going to have extra tyres to spare in terms of expending the wear of those mediums. This is going to be interesting. I don't think the mediums are going to be as good as the softs, especially not to start with, and that's where you get all your... Once you've all got into a line of DRS training, it's just who is the best at timing the overtakes. It's like a super speedway race in NASCAR. As I think Caesar is trying to burn some fuel. I think probably everyone is trying to burn some fuel. Actually, no. Caesar is trying to burn some fuel, though. Because obviously, I think the age-old adage of braking and throttling at the same time, it used to help you heat your tyres, it doesn't anymore. And I don't think, obviously, I think if that's been patched, they'll probably also patched its burning fuel quantities. Don't play Zero and Fruit Sauce. Having some shenanigans too. But Kevin is going to lead this field. He's going to back everyone up. Obviously, we've got Alejandro Roviad. I think, yeah, he's in the middle of the pack. Wait, is he in... Oh my god, I think he's in front of... Hold on, who is he in front of? He's got the Ferrari and he's in between Talha. Sorry. So that will give Kevin some more respite. Having a back marker right there. And he's gone. He's gone. Will he be able to keep the position going into turn 1 though? It will be interesting to see. As you see all of the cars filter down the main straight in towards turn 1. Remus looking to the inside. Remus going to the inside as we come towards the first corner and contact between the pair. But Kevin assumes the leading position. He does not make the move there. As now is Liam Hambleton and I think Alejandro Roviad is not getting out because he is thankfully ghosted. As now Caesar overtakes Liam Hambleton. That was a move he needed to make. He needs to get up to Kevin, but Liam Hambleton is not giving up, and that means Mather as well. On the inside we go. Into the hairpin for Mayverse. Contact between him and Liam Hambleton. That will force Jale to go through as well, potentially. It doesn't. Liam Hambleton's stuck behind. Now he's going to go over the inside. He's going to give him his own medicine. Contact! He's spun Caesar. He has spun Caesar. He's broken way too late, and that has caused calamity in the pack. Is now Caesar right down to 17th, right down to the back, and he has problems. Oh, that is a disaster for the guy who led the race for so long. He was on pole position for so long, and he's going to come home with nothing as Lasso just pushes Shmee off like he's not there. Virtual safety car. So a momentary pause in the action as Shmee gets a 10-second time penalty for ignoring the yellow flag. Does speeding or be contact of some sort as Liam Hambleton goes past Shmee there. We may be going green very soon. Oh, and Caesar is not the one who has to come in. Fick is the one who has to come in, unfortunately. Actually, both Caesar and Fick have the exact same helmet. That's not the most annoying thing in the world. Fick has decided to retire. He's not happy with how the race is going for him. And DRS is re-enabled. Talha is closing back into Kevin, but he's going to need a bit more than that. But he must hasn't dropped back as far as I thought he would. Taha needs to get in that DRS window. I'm not sure why he isn't deploying an ERS, because he would have had DRS if he'd have managed to get into that 1 second window this lap. 3 seconds for Fritzhaus. Penalties could also play a part in this as well. Depending on how many warnings each driver has. Yellow flags in Cycle 2. I'm not sure exactly who or what that is. I think it's Ozan potentially losing ground. Taha will need to burn ERS coming off of this. As long as he gets in the DRS, he'll be fine. Let's see. Oh, it's not enough. Burn it! What is he doing? Oh. I hate when people think, oh, let me save a little bit of DRS. It doesn't matter. As long as you can get in the car in front, you'll be fine. He's now in it, but he's letting Kevin... Oh, actually, Kevin isn't burning any either. Taha has the room now. He's in the DRS, so he will have it on the next straight. Mayvers overtakes Remus. There's a McLaren 2-3 as Remus nearly looks for an inside gap there. That would have been a bit of an audacious one. Cesar's now up to 14th, but I think it was a bit late for him to try and make any advances in this race. Lazzo passes Liam Hambleton. Oh, and Schmee's in the wall. Schmee is in the wall, backing it up onto, back onto the circuit. He will come. Bit of a problem for him there. Cesar could easily make his way back into points positions if he plays his cards right here. Fritz also trying to get past Remus. Obviously on those better tyres, he goes round the outside. It should be a pretty easy move for him, and it is. Jallo will also try and make his way through, and now Taha's back out of the DRS window. He has the DRS though. He needs to use the DRS to try and get back into that DRS window. That DRS window. He needs that DRS. He is going to get that DRS now, and it should help him because he'll have it for both of these straights coming up. That'll be a massive help for him. The Cesar now into 11th, and Toto battling with him. So Toto hasn't really managed to make his way through the field, to be honest. I'm surprised at that. I'm surprised he hasn't at least got his way into the top 10. Now these two battling. Two very fast drivers battling with each other rather than working with each other to try and make moves for the rest of the field. Because that's 10th. Ozan is right there for the taking. But they're both battling with each other because they can't be bothered to actually think of anything logical to do. There's now Frobel. Yellow flags and set is a very Schmee has decided to retire from the session. He's had enough. All of these high traction corners are allowing Kevin to pull away in the middle sector, but now this DRS straight will allow Taha to pull himself back into the window he needs. But it's not been good for him. He needs those softs to fall off right about now, and I think those softs was always the right option to go with. Saying that, Kevin hasn't really gained much off the exit of these corners. Yellow flag in sector 2. Not exactly sure what that will be. Haas, it said it had some problems. Cesar now right behind Ozan. He's going to stay behind. He's going to have his wits about him. Oh, Toto has fallen back. That's what that yellow flag. That's half the front wing. Because now Cesar is waiting patiently for his gap. Frobel is waiting patiently behind the two cars in front of him. Now Frobel overtakes Remus and he's going for it on Lasso. He tries. Oh, and Lasso's outbraked himself. Lasso has outbraked himself coming in towards the first corner. And now it should be Remus. It should be Frobel with the run, but he's not got the best of runs coming out of there. But Remus is boxed in, so he can't do anything. Frobel's still there, but he's not able to make a move, unfortunately, on Lasso right there. We have 2 laps to go. We're on the second to last lap in this race. And Taha is still within that DRS range. Kevin wasn't looking like he was going to win this race, but a luckily timed safety car has brought him right into contention here. Frobel overtakes Lasso, but I think Lasso was trying to get the switchback there, but he's clattered straight into the back of Frobel, but he's not going to cause even any damage, I don't think. And now Remus has words stuck behind Frobel trying to push him along, and Rebus takes the 7th position off of Lazzo. They're going to move on to the final lap ever so shortly, but this is going to be close. This is going to be a close battle for the lead and battle up and down the field. Kevin has finally saved some ERS, and this could allow him to stay in contention on this final lap of the race. But Talha is gaining to the outside. Goes to McLaren. Will he get it round that line? He's there. He's got it. All he needs to do is complete that move and keep the position for the rest of the lap as the guys further behind do scrap it out. Fritzos trying to get a podium off of Navers. Round the outside into T4. Nicely done. Can he get it around the outside? Can he make it stick? The Alpine driver, his teammate, retired and caused a safety car, but caused all the drama in this race. Can he benefit and get a podium? Oh, he loses the back end. Mavers on the inside, gets forced right to the inside. Curb for both of them. Curb for Mavers. He gets sent to the curb. But now Kevin will have one last opportunity, I think, here to get back past Talha. DRS down the straight to the inside. Can he put his move? Can he make his mark on the McLaren? He can. He's going to go to the inside and he's going to keep that position, possibly. But Talha's there on the outside. Contact between the pair. And I think that's going to mean Kevin has got it. That might be debated after the race. That might be debated as to if Kevin left enough room there. And the contact will allow him to take this win here. I think he's got enough room. He's got enough gap. And that was a bit of an anticlimactic end. But I think we're going to see the first winner of the VDRL season here on Friday. It's a fantabulous Friday for Kevin Van Dijk, who takes P1 here in Bahrain. Talha, P2, with all the penalties. Jale actually takes the podium position, followed by Fritzos, Mavers. Liam Hambleton takes 6th with some more penalties further behind, followed by Frobel, Cesord, Lazzo, Ozan with the final points placing, provisionally if any penalties get removed, followed by Remus, Don't Play Zero, Murphy, McVanaman, and, well, Toro. He was in contention and then he got that wing damage which held him and made it impossible for him. On his debut, Alejandro Roviard finishes last of all the finishers. A lap down. He was stuck a lap down from a safety car and, well, couldn't make any progress from there. The last guys come across the finishing line. We'll give you a quick run through the order again. Again, provisionally, these are the results. We may see some stewarding inquiries. We may see some other things that are going to happen post-race. And then after we've run through these results again, we will go in towards the interviews, which could be very spicy considering what happened on the final lap. So our provisional winner, Kevin Van Dijk, on his return to the VDRL League wins. I mean, I'm not surprised. He's a very fast driver. Wasn't in contention for pole, which was surprising. Or not really, because it was just Mavers and Cesord well clear of everyone else. But the luckily timed safety car, he was also quite error prone at the start. He was obviously not using, but that safety car saved him. But nonetheless, it was his prerogative, and he used it. So Kevin Van Dijk is your provisional winner for the Tier Friday Bahrain race, followed by Talha, Jale, Fritzos, Mavers, Liam Hambleton, Frobel, Cesord, Lazzo, Ozan, and Remus. Actually, no, not Remus landing out the points. It's Ozan that rounds out the points. Remus is the first positions, followed by Don't Play Zero, Murphy, McVanaman, Toro, Alejandro Roviard, who is a lap down, and the retirees, which are actually Shmi managed to be classified 3 laps down, followed by Thick, Yakog, and Ape Raptor on his debut. Not able to really make his mark, and neither was Alejandro Roviard, unfortunately for him. So, with that being said, let's wait for this sequence to play out, and then we will move in towards the interviews. I'll call this out. Oh, perfect. I'm already in the interviews. Oh, no, I'm not. Right, so I think we're in the interviews channel now, and I think everyone is everyone here? There we've got Jello, we've got Kevin, and we've got Talha. Perfect. So I think with that, we will start with our third place man, ex-commentary partner, Jale. Obviously, you weren't in the podium positions at the end of that race, but you got in because everyone else had time penalties in front of you. Were you actively conscious about your track limits around a track like Bahrain, where it is so easy to go off? And was that the only reason why you got that podium?
To be honest, I'm surprised I even got top 5 on track. I mean, in the first stint, I had no pace. I didn't really, going into the race, didn't really think, don't get penalties. I did get very close to getting one warning, but I just kept it clean. Maybe because I was going so slow, it was physically impossible to get penalties. But yeah, it was only at the end of the race or during the last safety car where I was like, oh shit, this can be a podium. That's where I just try to keep it as clean as possible.
And speaking about that, I'm going to get to the other two because some people benefited quite heavily from that safety car. How did it benefit you? Did it was it hampering you? Did your position and your eventual race prediction go up once that safety car was called for Jakog off of the last corner going off?
Absolutely, it helped. I mean, I jumped Mavers in the pits, so he already had to waste time and overtake me. But I was struggling like mad on the hards. Literally, the only thing I could do is let them overtake me on the main straight and then overtake them on the one right after that. The stuff just felt a lot better, might because they're a lot quicker. But yeah, it definitely helped. I don't even think I would have gotten top 5, top 7. I mean, points at the start of the race, I was like, damn, points. I might get P10 and I'm here on the podium now, so.
Yeah. And so, obviously, first race of the season, your first race back after doing commentary last season. How does it feel to be on the podium in your first race back? And do you think, potentially, this is a question I'm going to ask to everyone, do you think potentially you can make a title charge?
If I do make a charge, I don't think it'll be based on race wins, more consistency. As I mean, the pace from Seasword, Kevin, Shmi on his day, Toro as well. Rajic, he wasn't here today, but those guys are proper quick. But I think if I'm paired up with one of those, I can definitely help them win the championship, as I can be up there in P5. Championship challenge might be a bit of a stretch, but I'll give it my all, that's for sure.
Yep, I bet you will. Now we'll move on to our second place man, Mr. Talha. So I can see he's still muted. Hopefully he can unmute for us. Otherwise, I'll be talking to a brick wall. But the first question I'm going to ask, going straight into the controversial topics, what were your thoughts on that last lap battling?
Yeah, going into the final corner, I had quite a lot of ERS and I just deployed all of it. And then went around the outside, got Kevin, and I thought it was my race. But uh, in the middle sector, I had no traction and very low ERS, and Kevin had a lot of traction. So he just got me in the second ERS straight.
And I saw you try to defend that move. Was it inevitable that it was going to go by? And did you feel a bit hard done by how it happened on the exit? And how do you think you could have got him back if potentially you'd have stayed alongside through that section?
Yeah, going through that corner, I did try to defend it, braked a lot late. We made contact, but I don't think I could have overtaken him through there.
Okay. And in general, how happy are you with P2? Because obviously you were up front pretty much the entire race in terms of being in the question for a top 3 or top 5 finish. Is second well, obviously you could have got the win, but is second a good result for you? Do you think you would have been you're pleased with that?
Yeah, I mean, for a test race, it is a good result, and knowing that we could have won the race. And honestly, the safety car screwed me. It benefited a lot of people, but it screwed me because I was in control of the race throughout on the hards, and uh, Siford wasn't gaining on me that much, and Kevin had to box because he was on a 2 set of softs. So I was in control of the race, but after the safety car, everyone were neutral on the same tires.
Yeah. I think with that, I think we need to move to our first place man, Mr. Kevin Van Dijk, making his return to VDRL. How's that for a return, mate?
Yeah, nice comeback, yeah. But I want to congratulate Tala. He was really fast today. And also in the last stint, I think I think he had new tires in the end, new mediums, because my softs were used in quali.
At the end, I think he was on the same lap, old mediums and softs that you were on. Because one of you was on softs, one of you was on mediums. I've forgotten now. Yeah, that's what happened with that. And that's right. That will lead into my second question. So obviously, you were probably the biggest beneficiary of that safety car. You were leading while it was out. You're obviously going longer on your strategy. And then you decided to take softs. Obviously, you'd seen Toro fall by the wayside because he tried to go too far on the soft tyres. Was that in your mind? And were you just going Hail Mary on that safety car? You were like, I'm up here, I may as well go all out, balls out to the wall.
Yeah, I wanted to. I wanted the safety car because my tires were really bad before the safety car came. Because I think I was like, 20 laps on the softs. But yeah, the safety car helped a lot.
Okay, right. Last question. Let me think of the last question. Right, I actually forgot to ask this as Talha, but do you feel now that with literally a win in your first race back, that you are a championship contender and that you can win this just from the first race of the season?
Yes, that's my target.
Yeah. If you could answer a question with more than 4 words, it'd be massively helpful for me. But okay.
But considering I didn't practice, this was not that bad.
Was it? No.
My quali
What's the next track?
shit. I think I was 3/10 off, but I lost like 3/10 in the first corner. I locked up.
Ah, okay. So it was you were kind of not sandbagging, but it was not representative of your actual pace.
Yep.
Right. So we'll move on to the next race. Does anyone know what the next race is?
Austria.
Austria. Oh, that'll be. If you guys are bumping and barging each other like it's NASCAR in Bahrain, what the fuck do I expect to Austria, where it's just where half of the track is DRS straights? That's going to be fun. Make sure everyone gets titanium front wings, and yeah, that'll be interesting. So anyway, I think with that the stream has served its purpose. I think we can congratulate our top 3 contenders and thank them for providing their delicious voices for the interviews. I'm Nedzo. I've been providing you the coverage for this race. Unfortunately, didn't have a commentary partner, but hopefully I will for the rest of the season. And with that being said, I think we can conclude